Check out this magnificent old building here in Bridgeport, Connecticut. This was the mayor of Bridgeport in 1875. If this man were alive today, he'd have 100 million YouTube subscribers. His name was Phineas, and Phineas hired this 4-year-old boy named Charles to work for him. And this boy became America's first international showbiz superstar. His fans included Queen Victoria and Abraham Lincoln.
What? That's crazy.
It's true. The mayor of this city. Well, before he was Mayor Barnum, he was P.T. Barnum, and the boy was Tom Thumb. And this is the P.T. Barnum Museum. Tom Thumb's tiny costume. Tom Thumb worked for Barnum for years. His little bed. He never grew much taller than 3 feet, but Barnum had him put on a show that people loved. Tom Thumb would dress up in costumes like Napoleon. He'd sing and dance or perform funny skits. This is Barnum's American Museum in New York. This is where Tom Thumb was first shown, along with other human oddities like Chang and Eng, the Siamese twins that didn't get along with each other. This museum was Barnum's first freak show venue, and it was very successful. These little chairs were props Tom Thumb used during his show. His show toured Europe and made the little man very popular and wealthy. And also made Barnum wealthy. This is a model of the palace Barnum built for himself here in Connecticut. It was called Iranistan. And unfortunately it burned to the ground 10 years after it was built. Here's some beautiful custom-made furniture that survived the fire. Barnum's top hat. Step right this way, folks. Come see the centaur, half man, half horse. And Fiji the mermaid. Barnum also wrote books on the art of money-making. He was a banker at one point. He was very much a Renaissance man. This piano was associated with a very popular Swedish singer that worked for Barnum. She also made him lots of money. Tom Thumb's carriage. It's not much bigger than a baby carriage. And this nut-shaped carriage belonged to another little person that worked for Barnum. He was called Commodore Nutt. His real last name was actually Nutt. Commodore Nutt and Tom Thumb were in love with the same woman. She was also a little person and a performer named Lavinia. Here are some items that belonged to Lavinia. A child-sized glove, a ring, and a thimble, a fan. Tom Thumb got the girl in the end. These tiny celebrities got hitched in New York City, and the ceremony was attended by 10,000 people. It was like a royal wedding. And the wedding reception was held at the White House with Abraham Lincoln, who took time out from the Civil War to host it. A scale model of the circus. Barnum went into the circus business after his New York Freak Show Museum burned to the ground. His circus featured Jumbo the elephant, acrobats, and oddities like the three-legged man. And the rest is history. Tom Thumb and P.T. Barnum remained lifelong friends. Tom Thumb bailed Barnum out when he lost all his money, which happened a few times in his adventurous life. They're buried a few yards from each other in this cemetery. Ironically, it looks like Tom Thumb has the tallest monument in the cemetery. Good for him.